Christian music and Disney theme songs, and hush little baby too. She eats chocolate and cheese and she drinks Sprite. Sarah Elizabeth.
What is up, you guys? It's me, SEC. Okay, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. If you are new and you'd like to see more of my videos, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. So today we are recapping my first month of being in Alaska. So if you don't know, I'm currently serving on mission in Anchorage, Alaska mainly. And this is through SendMeNow, which is a program through the Georgia Baptist Missions Board. And it is such an amazing opportunity that I've been given. I'm so grateful to be able to share this along with y'all. So in today's video, it's going to be a little bit hectic, more so than a typical vlog of mine. So in my month of being here so far, I have gotten little snippets here and there, but not me sitting and saying like, hey, this is exactly where we're at and this is what we're doing. So that's kind of what future me is going to be doing throughout this. So I hope you guys really enjoy, and if you do, then don't forget to hit the like button, and let's go ahead and get on. Woo! Okay, so we start our journey off in good old Georgia. So drove up, my dad drove me up to Atlanta on the 24th and to spend the night with Ellie, who is my partner that is on mission with me in Alaska. And so we got there, we spent the night, we got to the airport right at time, we did all the stuff we needed to do, we got to the line, and they said, hey, your flight's been canceled. We're like, oh, that's great. Get us to Alaska, please. So they kept on trying, and none of it worked. None whatsoever. So that means we're stranded in Atlanta, Georgia without anywhere to go, and they couldn't find us a flight into Anchorage for a couple weeks. It was kind of insane. We finally got a flight into Fairbanks, Alaska, which is a 6.5-hour drive to Anchorage. So, cue to May 28th.
Good morning, everyone. Today is May 28th and we are about to head to Alaska. We were originally supposed to go out on May 25th, but the Lord had other plans and we ended up having our flights canceled, which was very devastating at the time, but I am very grateful for the time that we've had to rest and to better prepare and just kind of have a calm before everything gets crazy with all of our missions work and everything like that. And we had the amazing opportunity to be hosted by our SendMeNow advisor or supervisor, whatever you'd like to call it. And it's been wonderful, and I'm just grateful for the time that we've had to just kind of, like I said, rest and prepare. So I'm ready to go and ready to get this mission started.
Okay, so we have flown into beautiful Fairbanks, Alaska. And at this point it is like it's probably about 9 o'clock or so in, it's about 9 o'clock in Alaska at this time. So first stop, food. You know where we ate for our very first meal? Arby's. Yep, it's perfect. Just come to Alaska first thing, get a good old orange creamsicle shake. So then we made the trek to Anchorage, Alaska, and thank you, Jesus, that we have some amazing missionaries we are working with here this summer, and they were so gracious enough to make the trek all the way to Fairbanks and back just to pick us up, which I'm eternally grateful for, because I could not have drove that long after having done basically 26 hours of travel was our travel day. So we got here in Anchorage at about 3:30 in the morning. I know, crazy. So, which is even crazier because at home it was like they were just waking up, so it was like 6 or 7, which is just, it's bonkers. But slept really good, really long. And yes, fun fact, if you didn't know, during the summer it is light all the time. So if you ever come to Alaska during the summer, make sure to bring your eye mask. But went through, and our first week was sort of a training week. We didn't have any teams or anything like that, so we just got to experience Alaska, kind of getting a feel for how people just approach life here, and we got to better know the missionaries we were working with.
Here's one of the local ice cream shops called Wild Scoops, and it's my favorite thing ever. I've been there way too much, but it is so stinking good. And then here is Teddy, who is a golden doodle and one of the missionary couple's dog. And oh my goodness, she is the sweetest thing ever and has so much energy.
That's where they hatch. They go downstream, and then I guess once they're at a certain age or whatever, they swim back upstream. And that's where they lay eggs and all that stuff.
Y'all, I'm about to go paddleboarding for the very first time in my life, so we shall see how that goes. Okay, so we're at Kalani's, which is Ellie's new favorite coffee shop. Yes. And we stopped by after paddleboarding, and I found out they have smoothies. So I got a mango strawberry, which was the recommendation, so hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
What did you get?
I call it a coconut mocha. It's coconut syrup and chocolate, so it's really good. I usually don't go sweet, but I wanted to treat myself after working out.
But yeah, cheers.
So we went up to Flat Top. We didn't hike Flat Top, but we went out to this overlook that is just right outside. And so this is what you are seeing now. It is absolutely gorgeous. And if you go on a clear day, you can actually see Denali, which is it's like the largest mountain in the Northeast, I believe, or something similar to that. But it was beautiful, and we actually had the opportunity to go back a couple days later, and it was amazing just to see how green it had gotten so quickly. So also during this first week that we had, we also went to hike the Butte, which is in Palmer, and it was intense. This is my first hike in Alaska, and let me tell you, it's supposed to be a beginner, but I about died. I could not for the life of me breathe majority of the time, and there were so many stairs. But once I got to the top, it was beautiful.
Y'all, we just hiked up Butte Mountain, and I am out of breath like nobody's business, but it's beautiful. Just look at that.
So we went and hiked and just got to really experience Alaska for the first week. Then we got to trek through our first team. This first team was from Mississippi, and oh my goodness, they were the sweetest things ever. I miss them terribly. If any of y'all are watching, hello. I love y'all, I miss y'all, but they were absolutely amazing, and it was just so cool to be able to serve alongside them. And it was a very busy week, so Ellie and I and one of the members of the Mississippi team served at one VBS during the day for that whole week, and then we served at the nighttime, the whole team, at another VBS. So very action-packed week where we just really got to experience the children of Alaska, and they are so fun and so energetic, but they are a whole nother breed. So it was really interesting to be able to see that and get that idea and to be able to learn from those experiences. And that's kind of how this whole trip has been. It's been a big learn as you go kind of thing, which is really good to be able to experience. And so we spent that whole week working at different VBSs. I still have VBS songs stuck in my head, and I probably will for the rest of my life. But as you're seeing here, there was a good amount of dancing and singing going along.
What you need to know is, hey, listen now that you're a sinner and repent. We believe that Jesus is the Son of God and man. See that your faith and Jesus has saved you and Lord. Here is the blueprint. God's plan. Build your life on the great I am. Who reminds us who we really are. Lives us through with you. That's
during our times away from the VBS, we had a little bit of downtime in between the two, so we had a couple opportunities to further explore the beauty of Alaska. Y'all, this is my home. This is my new favorite place in Alaska. Look at this. Oh my goodness. So one of the times we went to Beluga and we actually, a couple of us were crossing and walking on the railroad tracks and we got yelled at a police officer by that. So just so you know, don't do that. It's very dangerous, obviously, but it's also very illegal apparently. Good to know. Fun fact for you all, if you didn't already know. And then we also went to Thunderbird Falls and a few other locations, and as you can see by all these photos and videos, they are absolutely gorgeous. And it's just so crazy to me that my allergies have not been that bad while in Anchorage. Whereas like if I were back home right now, I would be a crazy mess. So that's been a really fun surprise of Alaska. And it's also a lot hotter than you would anticipate. It's only like 60s and 70s, which is nothing compared to the South, I understand, but it's still interesting because Alaska is always imagined to be like this super cold place, but it's not that cold. Obviously it's summertime, but still. Anyways, so after we have explored and served together, we finally had to say our goodbyes to the Mississippi team, which was absolutely heartbreaking because they were just such an amazing first team for us to be able to really get to know in a personal connection, and I really hope to be able to continue the relationship on throughout the rest of the summer and beyond. So then we have our next team come in, and they are from Dothan, Alabama, which, reppin' Alabama, let's go. But they were 21 of them. Oh my. If you do not know me, I'm a introvert to the nth degree, and people I enjoy observing more so than interacting with them. So it was definitely a change of pace from our 7 to go to 21. So with that team, we actually traveled to Fairbanks again. Yay! 2 weeks later, we're back where we started. No, but it was so good. It was crazy busy. Really just weird. It was busy, but it was not at the same time. It was just really weird to have that large of a team, because with that large of a team, you serve, but in a completely different capacity. So as the interns, we typically were more of an enabler to do ministry than the ones actually doing ministry, which definitely a change of pace from what we had been doing. And it was also a large youth group that was a part of, that we were working with. So that was another interesting change of pace, because the team previously were more college age kids, and then this was all teenagers, and teenagers they scare me sometimes. I love observing. They're very interesting creatures. Even as a teenager though, I am still a teenager, but I don't know. The teen specimen just amazes me. But we were able to serve more in a enabling capacity than anything else. So that was really tough. Mentally trying to be okay with that and be okay, trying to reconcile with the fact that we are still doing ministry, just in another capacity. So in one of our off moments while in Fairbanks, we actually made the trek over to the North Pole. So when we were flying in, I saw we were flying in and we had Delta as our last flight. And they're super fancy, so they've got these screens that tell you where you're at, and you can track and all this. So on the map, you see Fairbanks, and right beside it's the North Pole, and I was I didn't realize it was this close. So Oh my goodness, when we went to Fairbanks this time, I was like, oh, I want to make it to the North Pole, and then we did. Oh my goodness, I was so excited, and I could only imagine what this place looks like during the Christmas season. Like, oh my, I bet it's a magical Christmas wonderland. But we went obviously during summer, and it was still really cool, and we got to see reindeer and all this other fun stuff. So head on to the North Pole.
There's Santa, y'all. We're in the North Pole. Hi. Look at all the reindeer. There's the North Pole.
So then we came back from Fairbanks.
Just stopped for lunch on our way back from Fairbanks, headed back to Anchorage, and look at this, just beautiful.
And then our team left us, and then before they came in on Saturday, we actually had a Father's Day event at UBC, so that was so much fun. They're such a great group of people, and I just can't wait to work with them more. The team was from Hot Springs, Arkansas. They were a great group, and we had the opportunity to kind of get to know them a little bit better and a little more personally. Because we had such a hectic week, we had to split the team up into smaller groups so that we could use them in the best possible areas. So my team went to Palmer, Alaska, which is about a 45-minute drive from Anchorage, and we served at an art and music camp. It was so fun, but also so different than anything that I am used to doing. I typically prefer to do more of a classroom setting or just like teaching. I really love teaching and just love being able to get that personal connection with kids. Kids are my favorite human beings ever. I think they are just amazing. But I was dancing and teaching these dances to these kids, and it was just so interesting to see like them, because I'm used to these certain type of kids, and then now we get to Alaska and they're like, whoa! So trying to be loud enough and be authoritative enough to be like, listen, was really difficult. And it was very hard sometimes to feel like I was doing a good job, because of the fact that, like, you know, you have these kids and they're so energetic that it's really hard for them to sometimes sit down and be like, okay, now you're gonna do this motion when we say this word, you know. So it was definitely an interesting experience, but I am grateful for it because it's given me another like age group and another kind of upbringing that I can work with now. That's kind of been the biggest and coolest thing about being here in Alaska, is it has pushed me out of my comfort zone of who I have worked with in the past. It's given me new opportunities concerning adults, college age kids, young adults, older children, because I'm used to like the really younger crowd. So being able to have like a wider variety of ministry has been really helpful, I think. Whether I recognize it now or whether I'll recognize it in the future, it has been very good. So also during our time in Palmer, on Thursday we had our normal day of art music camp, and then we had a time in between, and then at night we had our family night. So rather than coming all the way back to Anchorage and going back, guess what we did? We hiked Butte again, and I was like, okay, maybe this time it'll be better. Maybe I have gotten improvement since the first week here. You know, let's see. So, oh my, it was better. Yes, I could breathe a tiny bit more, but I was still dead. So if you ever come and you want a good quick incline, good quick hike, go on the butte. But if you have problem breathing, just know it will make you very out of breath. But once you get to the top, once again, ah! So, yeah.
So after Butte, we went to this lake, and it's so beautiful, but then we managed to get lost, and this is what happens. I'm not athletic enough for this.
So after our team from Arkansas left out, we now are on to our week this week, which at this time will be a little bit different. But at the time I'm recording it, we have had a week of rest and recovery. We went to the beach, which you are seeing now. Just ah!
Y'all, look at how beautiful. We are at Whitteroff Point, I think, Whitteroff Bluff something, and it's Monday. We have a day off today, so to kind of recover from this past week's teams, and just took our time coming down to the beach, and it's just so beautiful. So we're about to head down.
The beach was absolutely gorgeous, and just being able to sit there and rest in God's presence and just be able to appreciate the beauty that He has created was phenomenal. And then we went to a concert at UAA's campus to be able to kind of see how that goes, because they do those occasionally. And then we went on and paddleboarded and kayaked and did all this really fun stuff on the water, which I love being out in the water. So being able to do that was amazing, and just being outside this whole time has been so great. And then on Wednesday we went to Whittier and hiked Portage Pass, which was so cool. It was like straight up on the rocks, which that was a little tough, but it was so stinking beautiful, and I definitely could handle it a good bit more than trying to hike a butte, because oh my, that was intense. But it was absolutely gorgeous. And then we ended up hiking down into the valley to go to the glacier nearby. And at the glacier, there was actually some icebergs in the water. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in Alaska, there's an iceberg, I've got to touch it. So me being me, I decided I'm gonna walk out into the water. So I started walking out, and it was a lot deeper than it looked. So it ended up coming up to about right here, and like I've still got to make the hike back, but it was so hot that it cooled me off really nice, and I got to touch it, as you see here. And it was definitely worth it. I would 10 out of 10 recommend, if you see an iceberg, touch it, why not? So it was great.
Is it miserable on the way back?
Is it worth it?
I mean, you're only... I've touched it! Now you gotta walk all the way back!
I know! I didn't think it was gonna be that easy. And then we just kind of been resting up and just being able to prepare for this next coming weeks. So yes. So this is my first month in Alaska. We are officially in July, which marks the second month. And I have been so grateful for the time that I have gotten here, and I'm so grateful for what the God has done and what He's about to do and what He's doing right here in this moment. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, don't forget to comment that in the comment section. And yeah, if you have any recommendations of things you would like to see while I am here in Alaska, or just in the future when I come back home, please also feel free to comment that down below as well. If you like this video, then don't forget to hit the like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.